Struggle is true. All my people stand firm, and I will stand with you.
I'm Andy Bestwick, founder of the Can brand, and host of the Defeating Can't podcast. Today I'm excited to share an epic story, one we'll be following for years to come. It's a story of a remarkable individual embarking on a once-in-a-lifetime adventure, a journey that will take him across 7 continents, all self-supported while riding a bike. This story begins with my friend from Austria, known on Instagram as Freak of Nature. The name couldn't be more fitting. Stefan, as we know him, sees the world through a unique and curious lens. That curiosity has driven him to do something extraordinary, pedaling his bike around the globe, completely self-supported, carrying everything he needs. He set out on this adventure in early October, leaving his home in Austria to begin a journey that's a lot more about just riding a bike. To us, it's about resilience, exploration, and stepping out of life's monotony to embrace the unknown. When I asked Stefan why he was doing this, in true Austrian fashion, he simply said, "I needed some change." And then he took action. He's riding a custom-built trekking bike, designed specifically for the mission. It's equipped with advanced features like a USB charging port powered by the wheels, a super durable frame, and enough space for all of his camping gear, including a stove and other essentials. We've already seen pictures of Stefan riding through snow-covered mountain passes. He plans to camp most nights, relying on his resourcefulness and the kindness of strangers. Traveling by plane will only be used when absolutely necessary. This is truly a journey powered by his spirit of can. But this adventure isn't entirely solo. In a few months from now, in South America, Stefan's father Klaus will be joining him for part of the trip, adding another layer of meaning to this epic odyssey. Together, they'll continue a family tradition of exploring the world and pushing boundaries. From the majestic peaks of Nepal to the vast landscapes of Mongolia and the iconic Pamir Highway, Stefan's route will take him to some of the most breathtaking places on Earth. He even plans to visit the 7 wonders of the world. All of us connected to the Can brand are honored to have Stefan representing us and sharing his story. His journey is a testament to what's possible when we challenge the limits we place on ourselves. All right, let's check in with Stefan. I believe Stefan is in Nepal, and can you tell us a little bit about where you are? Are you in a VRBO or a hotel?
Now I'm in a hotel because I wanted to stay in Tokyo for a little longer because it's a really nice city. So I had time to look at the city and assemble my bike after the flight. It's luckily nothing broke during the flight, just a few scratches, so nothing really major.
That's all. So is that the only plane that you've taken so far?
Yeah.
Can you describe the course you took leaving from Austria so as people would be able to understand the route that you took? So you started out Austria, and from there, where did you go country by country?
Yeah, so I started back home, then I went down towards Slovenia, then through Slovenia I went to Croatia, then I followed the coastal line to Split, then I took the ferry to Italy, I went riding to Greece.
Awesome.
From Greece I continue to Turkey, and from Turkey I took the ferry to Cyprus, and on Cyprus I stayed with a family for a while. And then my original plan was to take the plane to Egypt. But during my time in Turkey, I met another traveler who also went to Egypt before me. And then he told me that it is really bad to cycle there because they don't really let you cycle there. So as soon as you hit a checkpoint, you're forced to take a bus or a truck.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
it's not really a nice experience. So then I rescheduled, and since Egypt was only on my radar, just to had another country more to visit. So my real goal was Jordan. So I flew to Jordan, and I wanted to the Arabian island. But then my aunt told me that the border between Jordan and Saudi Arabia isn't really safe because there are groups there that rob people and kidnap people.
Well, glad you skipped that.
Plus, it's just desert and sand, so I don't know how awesome that would have been. Yeah. So I decided to go. So after Saudi Arabia, I originally wanted to go to Abu Dhabi and then fly to Kathmandu, but now I just visited Jordan briefly, and then continued in Kathmandu. And now my next goal is New Delhi, where my aunt is living
Wow. Oh,
right
you have
now.
an aunt in New Delhi. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's because she's working for the foreign embassy,
Okay.
and that's why she knows the situations in all the countries, and that's why.
Oh, that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that was really to skip the Middle East because, all the factors you just mentioned, safety and riding through the desert and all of that. So can you talk a little bit about the number of days you've stayed in a tent versus a hotel?
I have to make a guesstimate. I took a picture every time I took my tent. For the most part, in Europe, mainly I would stay in my tent because it was easy. I had to find a place. Or, for example, if I came to a city that I wanted to look at, be touristy,
Yeah.
then I take either an Airbnb or a hotel for a few days. For mine, that's safe.
Have you felt safe on the trip so far?
So far, everybody's been mostly curious as to why someone would do that to himself.
Ride a bike throughout the world?
Yeah.
How are you generally describing it? If someone asks you,
I'm describing it as an adventure just to see the world. It's not as slow as walking, but not as fast as with the car that you miss too much of the land.
so we talked about physically how you're doing on the trip. How are you doing mentally? I mean, can you speak to, are you enjoying it? You're having a lot of happy days and, curiosity still there, or are you missing home?
No, the curiosity is still there. And sometimes I think about home, but I know I'm going to go back there. So it's not big that I think about it.
Sure.
In the beginning, the first few days where it set in, that I'm going to be gone for a while. But now, not really. Sometimes it's a little bit boring because you don't really have anyone to talk to or to share the experience with.
I wanted to hear a little bit about the planning that you had in place. Are you sticking to that in terms of the routes? And do you see yourself continuing on this to the end? Are you thinking about cutting it short or doing something different? Or what's the overall framework since you started this?
Well, Europe worked out the route that I wanted to.
Yeah.
Now I had to cut out Arabia. I mean, it kind of sucked, but I kind of, it's not that big of a deal because I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much because now I have more time in Nepal instead. And I like it here a lot.
Okay. And what do you love about Nepal?
The nature.
Okay.
Mainly. When I came, you really saw the Himalayas.
I bet it's beautiful. How do you kind of consider staying on the plan and staying on the track versus just being free to experience whatever you want to experience? Has there been sort of that back and forth in your brain where you're like, hey, I got to stay on track, or I think I'll just stay here longer?
I think 2 weeks.
2 weeks in Nepal.
Almost 2 weeks, almost.
So kind of back to that question, but is that something where you're finding yourself just deciding to stay in places and explore it further?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If I like it somewhere, and I mean, I have a time frame, but I don't have so little time that I have to skip everything that I want to do. So
Sure. I will say that it's, for me, I can't imagine being on my own and doing what you're doing. Do you think it's like a different personality you have to have, or have you had to have some sort of, I guess, courage, or have you had to sort of step outside of your comfort zone to do this overall, do you think? Or do you think it was inherently simple for you because it's just you're comfortable with being by yourself and doing stuff like that?
well, for me, it is easy to be by myself, but I have never been by myself for this long of a time frame. So
Sure.
it's definitely a new experience. I mean, I don't mind it, but on the other hand, as I said, it gets boring, lonely. It just feels better if you have someone to share the experience with.
No, that makes sense. No,
I mean,
and
now I'm getting to experience all these awesome things.
I think about you often and I'm like, man, I cannot believe he's out there just doing this. It's pretty cool. I would guess that would be something where you want to share it with somebody. And maybe that's something I would think would be kind of neat where, you're young. How old are you, Stefan?
I'm 26.
26. So down the road, you have a partner or somebody, you might be able to take them back to all of these places. So that's probably a cool thing that you're sort of setting a foundation for travel for probably your entire life, I would think.
Yeah. Well, Poke will definitely visit. Kathmandu is not, I would not recommend that much because first so there's not much space, and also the air is not good there.
Yeah.
I noticed the further I went out of Kathmandu, the better the air quality got.
So what's, in terms of the rides, what's the longest that you've been on the bike with all your gear?
Well, the longest ride on the second day, when my dad and I wanted to see how good this works with the Airbnb and stuff, so I told him where I will be, and it was 166 kilometers, so almost 100 miles. And yeah, I had headwind all the way. So I started at 8 or 9 in the morning, and I finished at 3 in the morning.
Wow, that's not easy.
If I didn't have an Airbnb that my dad books for me, I would have just said, fuck it. I'm putting my tent up here after 70 kilometers. It would have been perfect. I saw a spot, but it was already booked, and I'm like,
So you're not going to let dad book any more travel for you.
no, now we got the hang of it. It was a very steep learning curve for the first time.
So you've got sort of like almost like a control room with dad in it, helping you map some of this out. Is that right?
Yeah, so he takes one aspect of it that I don't have to think about.
So
I can concentrate on psyche.
is he doing advanced planning, say weeks in advance for you, or?
No, that's not. It's short term. Sometimes even just one day before.
Okay. I mean, that's a really a game changer for you, is having someone helping. Because I was thinking about that too. For me, just booking a flight, it takes, it shouldn't, but you're looking at all the different options and it can take an hour to do. It's really annoying. So no, that's probably a good tip for people that are thinking about doing something like this, is having someone sort of a travel agent at home.
Yeah,
helping you
doing
out.
the logistics at home.
So let's talk about your fitness. Are you feeling like you're getting pretty fit? Are you eating well? Have you lost weight? Any big changes?
Since I don't really have a scale anywhere on the road,
How does it look in the mirror? Do you feel different? Do you feel?
I feel like I'm losing weight. I mean, it would be weird if I wouldn't. If I'm on
That'd be a lot of calories you would be consuming if you weren't losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, and how's the nutrition element? Are you finding what you need?
So mainly, in Europe it was easy. I went to some place to eat just once a day, and the other times I cooked for myself.
Okay.
So I didn't get too expensive. But mainly it's like noodles or rice, because that's easy to carry and it doesn't spoil easy. You don't have a lot of options if you travel like this.
Do you have probably a couple pots and pans or something that you're using? Are you able to heat up food? Do you have a propane?
Yeah, the gas stove.
A gas stove?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you finding that you have enough of that fuel? Did you have to bring extra, or are you finding places that could resupply that for you, or is that an issue at all?
No, gas is easy to get. After in Jordan, I wouldn't have been sure if I found it somewhere, because I looked during my time I was there, but I didn't. So I'm kind of happy in that aspect as well that I didn't stay where biking. But here in Nepal, it's easy because all the trekking and stuff that there's like a store everywhere.
How's the language barrier? Are you able to navigate that? Or a lot of people speaking English?
I only speak German and English. So far, English was enough, and the translation apps are also helping.
Are people generally asking where you're from?
Yeah, they always think I'm from Australia, and it's kind of getting annoying to correct them.
You have to correct them. So you're in Asia right now. I would think you're going to start to encounter some pretty big cities coming up, or are you going to try and avoid those? And
India is going to be the next country.
Oh, that'll be fascinating.
And then New Delhi is.
And then from there, where are you going to head to?
I was thinking of going to Pakistan, but I might need to take a flight again.
Okay. What did you originally predict that your around the world bike trekking would take? Is it 2 years is what I thought you had said? How long?
2.5
2.5
years.
years. And so
Yes.
you think that'll be kind of
Yeah,
you'll stick with.
should do it.
And so after Asia, where will you head next?
Indonesia, and then towards Australia.
Okay, and then Australia? Yeah.
Yeah, Australia, and then of course since I'm already there, I'm gonna jump over to New Zealand because that's hard for me to get there from Austria because it's the farthest away you can get.
Oh, okay. Yeah, might as
Because
well.
if you drill through the globe, you come out in New Zealand from Austria.
Okay.
So it's the furthest point you can get from home for me.
What's the hardest thing that you've had to overcome?
I would say in Turkey, at the border, where my tire exploded on me.
Oh, wow.
No reason. Yeah, it wasn't just the inner tube; it was the mantle that burst open on the side. So it was
the
really,
sidewall blew out.
yeah, it was like, why? Yeah, and then when I looked, if there's a bike shop somewhere, and the next one it showed me was like 15, 20 miles further in. I was like, okay. So I went back because there was a little city after the border. And on the way back, I asked people to know someone. Yeah, and then it was like, yeah, you go there. Then I asked again, no, you have to go there. Then this went on like for, I don't know how long. And this is also where I met the other bikepacker.
Okay.
So he went with me and searched for me for a tire.
Oh, that was
And
nice. Yeah.
And then he was really weird. He didn't know how to remove my back tire. So it was very interesting to watch. So I just put it up before he braked my derailleur or something. Yeah. And he called someone who knew someone after, I don't know, 3 hours or something. And he came with the tire and an inner tube. And I have no idea where it came from. At least I had something to continue. It was the right size, but barely fit on the term. So when you put the mantle on the wheel or
the rim,
the rim, yeah, it barely fit on the rim, so it was very hard to put it on there. But I got the mantles from my dad now, which are better, and they went on very easy.
Nice.
I had to replace it because if I have a flat in front, I have to almost break my fingers just to get that stupid mantle on again. It's not very effective.
So I was going to ask a little bit about, first off, you got any funny stories or anything you can share about the experience or journey?
There was one funny thing when I came to Kathmandu and I went outside of the hotel for the first time. There was a guy carrying a fridge on his back. It was like, oh yeah, he's probably a shepherd.
Probably.
It was like
sure.
a really big fridge and just with his headband.
No way. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Any perspective you've gotten from the overall trip you can share?
Yeah, I'm lucky to have the privilege to do it, because if it was born in a different country, I don't know if it would be even possible for me to do this.
Sure. And are you journaling at all, or are you doing anything that will capture this besides just taking pictures and things, or are you trying to log?
Well, I am taking videos and stuff so I can do Instagram posts afterwards, because I don't really want to do it because it would be for nothing if I don't do it regularly, because then the algorithm would just throw me somewhere under the bus.
Probably.
So if I do it later, I can be consistent, do it like once a week or 2 every week. Yeah, and I also journal on my phone.
Oh, okay, good. I thought that would probably be something you would be doing. How's Dad? Is he doing well?
Yeah, it's good.
Good to hear.
He already can't wait to join me.
When is Klaus going to join you?
In roughly a year.
Okay, and that's going to be in South America?
Yep.
Okay. And yeah, so we'll catch up again, and you give me some more updates, and maybe in a month or so we can catch up. Thanks for repping Can, and I'm just happy that you're healthy and enjoying things, and you look good and you look happy. So keep that all up and reach out if you need anything. And I don't know when I could send some more stuff to you. It'd be fun because I want to get back on track with that, and I'm thankful for everything you were doing.
Well, I
You-
have friends that want to visit me when I'm in Japan.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, maybe I could send it
yeah,
to them.
yeah.
That would
So
be
you can
cool.
send it to them. Then my dad will give it to them.
Yeah, I'll send it to
If
your
they-
dad, and he could give it to him, and then we could keep going. No, that would be cool.
And then my other aunt, from my mother's side, my aunt, she told me that she will definitely visit in New Zealand. Yeah.
Well, thanks for this check-in on the world adventure, and I'll be catching up with you again soon. Any words of wisdom or anything for people that are thinking about doing some big adventure like this in their lives?
If you want to do it, don't keep putting it off until you can't do it anymore.
A great way, great advice for people. So, all right, Stefan, take care, be safe, and keep enjoying the trip, and we will be catching up soon.
Yep.
Later.
Struggle is true. All my people stand firm, and I will stand with you.